Hi, what's up, y'all? It's Papa was cracking. It's D. Boss reacts to this vid by RRG is titled "There Are So Many Red Flags in Jonathan Majors and Meagan Good's Marriage." This woman is very shady. She's also low-key a hater, but I do find her content kind of funny. And a couple people asked me to check this out, so we're gonna check it out and hear what she has to say about them. Let's watch.
2023 was a busy year for Jonathan Majors. He went from being Hollywood's rising star to getting locked up for putting his hands on his then-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Meanwhile, Meagan Good's husband, Devon Franklin, dropped her like a hot potato and filed for divorce in December 2021. Their divorce was finalized in June 2022 after 9 years of marriage. From there, Jonathan and Meagan started dating. In a previous video, we discussed the idea that Jonathan and Meagan's relationship was a PR stunt to help rehabilitate his image.
But when people think that people will just be in a relationship as a publicity stunt, it just like it just is like, what? How? Y'all don't know how publicity works.
Girl, bye. Don't try to gaslight us. That is something that happens a lot in the industry. What are you talking about? It's been exposed very blatantly many times. So what do you mean? Acting like it's this fairy tale that never happens. And people aren't actually in a damn relationship, girl, when they're faking it. They are just going out to events together and being pictured together, and they are telling the public that they're together, but they're not actually in a relationship, like they living together and, you know, actually spending a lot of time together. No. When it's a PR relationship, it's just strictly for the public. Like they're, you know, being pictured. I'm not saying that their relationship is a PR stunt at all. I don't know. There are some things about that a little suspicious, but I don't know. You know, clearly they, you know, recently got married or whatever is what they're saying. And, you know, it could be real. It could be real. But I think a lot of people are skeptical of people like, you know, him. And, you know, I remember Michael B. Jordan when he was with Lori Harvey, people were saying the same thing. Because you have some, you know, black celebrities who are pictured with a lot of white women, and they're known to date a lot of white women, and that becomes the narrative that he only liked white women. So when that narrative starts circulating and they kind of lose the support of the black community because of that, then they kind of pop out with a black girl all of a sudden. So that's what makes people suspicious. It's just not because people just want to assume that everything's fake. Like, you know, I love black love, you know, genuine black love that is believable. But, you know, when something like this happens, it's just like in this particular case, it is suspicious for a lot of people because, you know, he had that big, you know, situation happen with that white girl. And it's kind of like, oh, the best move to get, you know, on people's good side, especially people in the black community, is to pop out with a black woman, you know? So that's why people are suspicious. But it could be real. We don't fucking know.
Now that sources are reporting that
that girl trying to gaslight people, girl, get the fuck out of here. That happens, okay? It definitely happens sometimes.
We thought it would be
PR
a good
relationship
idea to document all the red flags that are busting Meagan upside her big old head.
Y'all so damn messy, and I love it.
But before we get into this
y'all go buy her snacks.
Issue, we have to take things. To give you a clear picture of all the red flags in this relationship, we have to take you back to January 2022, when Meagan told People magazine that following her divorce from Devon, she had enrolled in therapy to address some personal issues. As for Jonathan, in a previous video, which we've linked for you in the description box, we discussed how he became a father at the age of 22.
Oh, yeah, kids?
After graduating, 22-year-old Jonathan became a father. Just like during those nights when he slept in his car, he leaned toward...
This is what I'm talking about. I don't think this is the actual baby. It might be, I don't know. But the fact that she's showing a mixed baby, you know, makes me believe that he had a baby by a white woman. And again, there's the pattern. There has been a pattern of him dating white women, like exclusively, it seems. So that is why people are suspicious, because they're like, oh, now you want to be with a black woman.
Towards his manifestation techniques to soothe himself during the first months of his daughter's life. He told The Guardian, "I remember stepping out of the time we were in, which was not so good, and projecting forward to see the beauty of her life and the type of father I wanted to be." He keeps his daughter's mother's identity a secret, but he confirmed to People magazine that his daughter is of mixed race. He and his daughter's mother didn't work out. As of this video, his daughter lives with her mother in Atlanta. He and Meagan first met at the Ebony's Power 100 Gala in October 2022. Meagan told People magazine, "It just was instant chemistry, but I wasn't really in that mind frame. Then we re-met again about 4 months later, and I was like, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen." And it did.
Girl, all that means is that you met a man twice. Lord have mercy.
But then, in March 2023, Jonathan was arrested in New York City and was charged with strangulation, assault, and harassment against Grace. The violent episode occurred after Grace spotted a text message on his phone from a woman named Cleopatra while they were riding in a car from Brooklyn to Manhattan. Many believe that Cleopatra was Jonathan's nickname for Meagan, but we cannot confirm this allegation. With his court case raging on, many people expected him to slowly repair his disgraced image. But no one expected him to pop up and pop out with a new girlfriend in May 2023. And we really didn't expect him to be with someone like Meagan.
So let me get this right. So before he got locked up, she wasn't in the right mind frame. But after he got out, all of a sudden she was ready to be in a relationship. And she chose him, of all people. Okay, Meagan, you should have stayed in therapy maybe just a little while longer.
Meagan told the Breakfast Club,
I was talking to God and I knew I was exactly where I was supposed to be.
Okay.
And I've learned along the way that not only will things not always make sense to me, but sometimes they won't make sense to other people. Mm-hmm. And that's okay.
She sounds delusional as hell. Is she a Leo? Because it's giving Leo. Shout out to all the Delulu Leos.
To start, neither seem to be each other's type, and they have an 8-year age difference. Because of these reasons, people assumed Jonathan's PR firm manufactured their relationship. In a previous video, we discussed the telltale signs of a PR relationship. One major sign is when a new couple just pops up out of nowhere. And that's precisely what happened with Jonathan and Meagan. On May 13, 2023, TMZ reported Meagan and Jonathan were spotted at a movie theater in Los Angeles. And then they were randomly photographed trying to dodge photographers at a Red Lobster. Meagan's mom
Meagan Good being Jonathan Major's new girl, just LOL. Because even if he were falsely accused, how would he have time for a new romance? LOL. He'd be stressed, just bizarre and clearly fake.
Randomly photographed trying to dodge photographers at a Red Lobster. Meagan's mom and her sister were with them, and all three women left the restaurant holding bouquets of flowers, presumably given to them by Jonathan. As their relationship progressed, Jonathan's Hollywood opportunities started to dry up. The Army pulled recruiting ads featuring him, and the University of Pennsylvania canceled his speaking engagement. He was dropped from a feature film adaptation of Walter Mosley's novel The Man in My Basement. He was axed from an Otis Redding biopic, and an ad campaign he was set to be featured in for the Texas Rangers was shelved. His role as Kang the Conqueror in the Marvel Cinematic Universe was also shelved. A source told People magazine that Meagan had been supporting Jonathan amid his assault charges. In other words, Meagan was Jonathan's emotional support cup.
For real though, because what happened to that tiny ass cup? Bestie, you messy as hell.
During an appearance on the Today Show, Meagan refused to tell the host of the Today Show how their relationship started, which set off a lot of alarms for her fans. Was she keeping the details under wraps because she was indeed the mysterious Cleopatra that sparked the physical altercation between Jonathan and Grace? Was that why Meagan was riding so hard?
If y'all believe that story, then you can't believe that this is fake, if that's the case. Because if it's fake, then, they wouldn't have even had to do that. Because it's like, oh, this is strictly business. We ain't even talking about, sexual shit, whatever, outside of work, which is our PR relationship. So you can't have it both ways. Which do you believe?
Did she have a sense of guilt for sending him that text message at the wrong time, which led to his arrest?
Things that make you go,
Meagan went on to tell the Today Show that every single one of her friends advised her to wait until after Jonathan's legal troubles to see how everything turned out. But did she listen? Hell no.
A hard head makes a soft ass dumb.
Meagan told People magazine that even Jonathan tried to encourage her to leave his ass alone. She said, "He wanted to protect me. I was like, my love, first of all, you're dating a black Leo." And also, I grew up in this industry. The things that I've been through gave me the bandwidth to love other people.
A black Leo is
regardless. So when we got together, it was like, this is going to be
like I'm a black Capricorn, I'm a black Cancer, like what?
But you got the right one.
Usually I'll hear them say, "Oh, the female Leo or male, Scorpio or whatever." But whatever.
What a beautiful airhead.
In November 2023, Jonathan attended his court hearing with Meagan and a Bible.
Fix it, Black Jesus.
A legal expert told AOL website, Mr. Majors showing up in a steady relationship that says immediately to a juror or to the public, this is not someone that others should be afraid of. He's a normal person. There's an alternative story that's going on here. So again, everyone assumed that either Meagan was a part of the alleged PR stunt or that she was getting played without her knowledge by Jonathan's team. In a recording played at his trial, Jonathan could be heard telling Grace that she needed to be more like Coretta Scott King or Michelle Obama. He used the names of those beloved black women as an analog for whom he believed a white woman should be in order to stand by him.
Or you could get you a black woman who emulates Coretta Scott King or Michelle Obama. How about that?
Jonathan was found guilty in December 2023 on 2 counts of harassment and 2 counts of assault. While he avoided jail time, he was ordered to attend 52 weeks of domestic violence programming in Los Angeles, pay $250 in surcharges, and continue going to therapy. 2 months after his sentencing, the couple cried together at the New York Urban League's Frederick Douglass Awards dinner as they told Us Weekly how they stuck by each other through difficult times.
I got 2 words for you. Trauma bond.
Sources reported that Jonathan had moved into her home and Meagan was covering their expenses amid his struggling career.
That's a rumor.
The ding ding go right here. We need a ding ding right here on 2 counts. Number 1, he moved into her house, and number 2, she was paying the bill. Ding damn ding.
In November 2024, fans were shocked when Meagan showed up on the red carpet of the Ebony Power 100 Gala with a huge rock on her ring finger. She and Jonathan announced they were set to tie the knot, and Meagan told E! News that Jonathan actually proposed twice, but she refused to go into further detail.
That was cute. He wanted her to have her moment, so he's like standing back and letting her, have her solo pictures. So she had to pull him in, no, take pictures with me.
When asked why he popped the question 2 times, Jonathan simply answered, "Don't do anything by halves."
Huh? Now what the hell that mean?
During an appearance at the Breakfast Club, Charlamagne the God jokingly asked Meagan if Jonathan had asked her to be his Coretta when he proposed. Meagan responded, he didn't say that, but I am his Coretta though.
Dumb as hell. Just dumb and goofy.
On March 14th, 2025, he told The Hollywood Reporter that his father wasn't around and he was taken advantage of by both men and women from the time he was 9 years old. He said, "From people who are supposed to look after you in the absence of a father. I was stuck." Their family moved to Cedar Hill, Texas, right outside of Dallas, and one day his father simply didn't come home. It was an abrupt and cruel abandonment. He told the New York Times that his dad's departure left him feeling the highest level of disappointment. Despite his dad not being around,
This is a hot take, and it's kind of fucked up, but from experience, I don't recommend dating anybody seriously who has had something so traumatic happen to them. Being, this is really mean to say because everybody's deserving of love, but if you find that out, I would run in the opposite direction because those people are usually fucked up for life mentally, and they are going to project their bullshit onto you. I'm just saying. So people who have had a fucked up childhood and one of their parents abandoned them or they were molested and taken advantage of, usually they don't know how to process those feelings, and it just haunts them for the rest of their lives, and they can be very, very difficult partners. So yeah, just red flag. And I mean, you can love them still, and I'm sure there are cases of people who go on to heal and they can be good partners, I'm sure, but I just feel like more often than not they have a lot of demons and they project those fucking demons onto you. I'm just saying.
he told The Guardian he inherited.
So just from my experience, I personally would never do it again. You do what you want. If you want to, try to, I could heal them and I'm here for you, baby, and let them cry, then, that's your business. But I'm just saying that I personally would never do that again because it's not worked out for me. And I've done it a couple times, but it's just like, I don't need to keep doing this again.
his father's emotionality. His mom got remarried to a man that was fresh out of prison, and they struggled to make ends meet.
I don't want to say one of their parents abandoned them because, no, that trauma can, that doesn't have to always affect them for the rest of their life. Not everybody is equally affected by that. I will say that, especially if they have one really strong, loving parent and they have other people in their life who kind of step up and take the role of that parent who dipped, then they can still be good partners. So I don't want to say that because I feel like they have a fighting chance. But people who were taken advantage of, then I feel like they have less of a chance of being a good partner. I'm just saying.
They experienced several evictions, trips to pawn shops, and frequent relocations. During his early years, he was playing football, fighting, cussing, and sagging his pants. He told the New York Times that kids would tease him by making comments like, "Oh, Jay with the big nose and the big lips." His frustration with all of the teasing got the best of him. He told Men's Health magazine, "I have a very high frequency of anger and a very high frequency of sadness. I also feel deeply militant in a way. I view that as I'm a soldier." When he wasn't beating the brakes off of his tormentors, he was getting into it with his stepfather. Jonathan said he would take long walks and punch trees to let out his anger and frustration. He also admitted to...
See, look, the stepdaddy who was supposed to step up and be, a father figure after his real dad did, he wasn't even doing a good job, apparently. He's saying he keep getting into it with him.
NME.com that he had a real issue with authority. He said that after his assault trial, he underwent therapy and re-engaged with his pastor. As a result, he was able to unpack childhood traumas he had not confronted before. And then, 3 days after the Hollywood Reporter interview was released, Rolling Stone released old audio from September 2022 between him and his then-girlfriend, Grace. In the audio, Grace confronts Jonathan about an alleged attack that happened where he reportedly put his hands around her neck. In the audio, Jonathan can be heard admitting to putting his hands on her.
Big things are happening, and now this tape of you allegedly doing this is coming out now. How are you feeling about that?
Wait, hold on.
It's coming out now. How are you feeling about that?
The gun has a plan. And sometimes you just throw your hands up.
Once the audio was released, people were worried for Meagan's safety. But before anyone could knock some sense into her...
Because wouldn't the answer be, I've grown, since then, that wasn't that long ago. But, I take responsibility for what I did and, I'm being a better person. That was wrong with me. Something like that along those lines. You trying to bring up God and try to use that as a shield?
The very next day the audio was released, news outlets reported that Jonathan and Meagan had tied the knot. According to Entertainment Tonight, the pair got married during a small private wedding at their home in LA on March 18th. Jonathan's mom officiated the wedding, while Meagan's mom served as a witness. No other guests were in attendance.
Not even her sister? Lord have mercy. Now, you see, that's how you know everybody ain't okay with this mess. They know Meagan goofy as hell and making a huge mistake. Fix it, Black Jesus.
So, one day after the audio leaked of him admitting to putting his hands on Grace, he and Meagan decided to become husband and wife? Is that suspicious to y'all or nah?
Bad eyebrows, bad decisions.
Some people are still holding...
You know what? I was thinking of this entire video, but I didn't want to say it because I love Meagan, okay? But child, that was not a good decision. I remember she got her eyebrows tattooed a long time ago. This is why I would never do that. I don't want to do microblading. I don't want to do nothing like that. Anything even semi-permanent to my eyebrows because this has haunted her for years. And it seems like she corrected it a bit because it used to be way worse. It was real bad back in the day because she got her eyebrows tattooed when the trend was for the thin eyebrows to be in. And that's the problem with getting your eyebrows tattooed is because eyebrow trends tend to change over time. And sometimes you look back like, oh, I thought my eyebrows was cute, 5 years ago. They look a hot ass mess. So you don't know what you're going to think about that particular style down the line. So I don't recommend nobody do that. But yeah, it looks like she tried to correct it. They look better than they used to look because they used to look a mess. But they still are just they're just harsh on her face. I feel like if she had more natural eyebrows, like she would look a lot better. I mean, she's gorgeous, but I just feel like it would, balance her face better and look better. But they're so harsh on her face.
On to this being a big publicity stunt that has gotten out of control, and they're convinced that
And it's just such a shame because she's so gorgeous. So
will get dumped once Jonathan gets his career back on track.
Anyway.
But for now, all we can do is wish Jonathan and Meagan Coretta Scott Majors nothing but the best as we sit here, eat our snacks, and mind
Girl, I
our
ain't them
business.
snacks.
You not minding your business after you just drag them folk all up and down these
Yeah, you ain't
streets. That ain't what you call minding your business.
Are we on point with these red flags?
Listen, I would argue the very biggest red flag is the fact that he put his hands on his ex only a couple years ago. That is the biggest of the reddest of the flag. I don't want to be with nobody who put his hands on an ex. To know that you're capable of hitting a woman is crazy to me. And strangling at that's really... That's wild. Like, so I would argue that that's the biggest red flag, honestly. But, I wish them the best. I think they're cute together, and I hope they have genuine love, and I hope that, they go on to have a great marriage. I want the best for them. So, there's that. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.